A couple of weeks ago, I found myself doing something that I suspect quite a few of us do from time to time. I was driving home from a shoot thinking about work. Not a specific project and not a specific client, just work in general, the state of things. Because if you spend any amount of time online as a videographer, filmmaker, content creator, whatever it is we're calling ourselves this week, you'll eventually come away with the impression that the entire industry is either exploding with opportunity or just moments away from complete collapse. Apparently, everybody has been replaced by AI. Apparently, nobody has any budget. Apparently, nobody can find clients. And apparently, everybody is buying cinema cameras. Apparently, YouTube is dead. Apparently, YouTube is thriving. Apparently, short-form content has won. Apparently, long-form content is back. Depending on which thumbnail you click, we're either entering a golden age or witnessing the end of times. Yet, when I compare all of that to what I'm actually seeing in my own small corner of the world, things feel considerably more nuanced. So, I wanted to do something slightly different today. No gear review, no product launch, absolutely no affiliate links, just a conversation. What I'd like to think of as a bit of a state of the nation. The state of videography in 2026, from one working videographer's perspective. Then I'd genuinely love to hear what you're seeing from where you're standing, because one of the things I've learned over the last year of making videos is that my little patch of Cornwall is only one tiny part of a much bigger picture. The first thing I've noticed is that there still seems to be plenty of work. Now, before someone in the comments tells me that I'm wrong, let me qualify that. I'm not saying that there's plenty of work for everybody. I'm not saying the sector is booming. I'm not saying every freelancer has the same experience. What I am saying is that from where I sit, businesses still seem to need video. Hotels still need video. Interior designers still need video. Architects need video, manufacturers need video, tourism businesses still need video, charities, the docks, fishing organisations, they all still need video. That hasn't gone away. The need hasn't gone away. And in fact, if anything, video feels more important to businesses right now than at any point I can remember. Most companies have accepted that visual communication isn't optional. The challenge is no longer convincing people that video has value. I think now the challenge is convincing people that you are the person who should make it. And that's a completely different conversation, because when I started paying serious attention to commercial video work, a lot of the discussion centered around educating clients. Now it feels very much like clients already understand the medium. They're just trying to work out who they trust. Which brings me on to something else I've noticed. The way work finds people now feels quite different. I don't know if anyone else is seeing this. In recent years, it felt like websites were everything. You built a portfolio, you optimized a few pages, you sort of crossed your fingers. Various points, social media has felt like it's been the answer, then SEO, then referrals, then personal branding, then content marketing, then YouTube. The reality, I think in my experience at least, is that all of those things still matter a little, but now relationships seem to matter a lot more. I look at almost every meaningful opportunity that's come my way recently. Most of them can be traced back to another human being, somebody I've worked with before, somebody who recommended me, somebody who saw a project, somebody who passed my name along, somebody who watched a video, someone who remembered me. That sounds really obvious, of course, but I think it's also easy to forget and overlook, especially when the internet encourages us to believe that every problem can be solved by optimized something. A better funnel, a better website, better strategy, better algorithm. Sometimes the answer is simply that somebody liked working with you. And I think that's the entire explanation. Another interesting shift is that experience seems to be valued differently. For years, the creative industries felt obsessed with youth. The assumption was always that the future belonged to whoever was youngest, fastest, newest. Now though, I'm not entirely convinced that that's still true. The older I get, the more I find clients value judgment. Not technical knowledge, not camera knowledge, but judgment. The ability to arrive somewhere unfamiliar and make sensible decisions. The ability to manage uncertainty. The ability to solve problems, deal with people, remain calm when something goes wrong. I spend part of my life on a lifeboat, and one of the things that that experience teaches me is that rarely does panic improve a situation. Almost never, I'd say. And the same principle applies remarkably well to commercial filmmaking. Clients tend not to be paying for somebody who knows exactly which button to press. They're paying for somebody who knows which button not to press, which corners shouldn't be cut, which ideas are worth pursuing, which problems genuinely matter, and that sort of judgment takes a real time to build up. So I think we're beginning to see the value of that again. And just a quick pause. If you're enjoying this specific type of conversation, please consider subscribing. I know most people discover channels like this through gear reviews. The reflective, quite philosophical videos tend to find a much smaller audience, yet they're often my favorites to make. So if you'd like to see more of them, subscribing genuinely helps. And if you want to see more of the actual projects I'm shooting between uploads, you'll find me on Instagram as Jack Filmed. That's where the day-to-day reality of the work lives. Let's take a moment to talk about AI, because I don't think it would be possible to make a state of videography video in 2026 without at least mentioning it. What's quite interesting is that AI seems to dominate conversations about our industry far more than it actually dominates my actual working week. And now that's not to say that it isn't important, of course it is. I use AI tools, many of us do. Some of them are genuinely excellent, some save huge amounts of time, some are transforming parts of post-production. Yet when I look at the projects that pay my bills, very few of them have fundamentally changed. A hotel still exists in a physical location. An interior still needs capturing. A business owner still needs interviewing. Fishing boats still need filming, of course they do. Products still need lighting, people need directing, weather still needs working around, access still needs negotiating, and relationships still need building. Trust has to be earned, and there's a tendency online to discuss creative work as though the finished file is the product. I think in reality the finished file is often the easy bit. The difficult bit is everything else that happens before the camera even starts recording. Another thing I've really noticed is that there seems to be an enormous amount of attention being paid to gear, which probably isn't surprising considering the corner of YouTube many of us inhabit. Yet I sometimes really wonder whether we're living through a pretty strange period gear-wise, because the equipment available to ordinary filmmakers today is extraordinary, truly. The cameras are remarkable, the lenses remarkable, the monitors we've got are remarkable, the wireless systems are remarkable, stabilization, color science, storage, everything is remarkably good. Yet the amount of discussion surrounding equipment often feels completely disconnected from the amount of difference it makes to the final outcome. And I'm as guilty as this as anybody. I love gear. I've said before, there is a very good chance that if Bright Tangerine releases a titanium version of something, I will immediately be all over it. And that's just simply who I am as a person. Yeah, I do sometimes think we've created an environment where buying things feels a lot like progress, whereas actually real progress tends to be slower, less exciting, more difficult, involves practice and training. Perhaps the biggest thing I've noticed, though, is that the middle feels increasingly important. Not the biggest agencies, not the smallest creators, the middle. The one-person businesses, the two-person businesses, the specialists, the craftspeople, the people who know their niche extraordinarily well. I think we're seeing audiences place greater value on expertise. A hotel wants somebody who understands hospitality. An interiors company wants somebody who understands interiors. A marine organisation wants somebody who understands boats. Clients increasingly seem to want specialists. And I don't know, that feels significant. Because being a generalist used to be a competitive advantage. Today, I'm a bit less sure of that. The more specific your expertise becomes, the easier it seems for people to understand why they should hire you. Which leaves us with the question that I've been turning over in my head. Is videography a good business to be in 2026? I think it is. I genuinely think it is. There are challenges, but there always have been. Technology changes, platforms change, client expectations change, the economy changes. Every generation believes they're experiencing unprecedented disruption. Most of the time, they're simply experiencing change. What still seems to matter are the fundamentals. Can people trust you? Can you solve problems? Can you deliver consistency? Can you communicate well? Can you create work that people value? Those questions feel remarkably similar to the questions people were asking 15, 20, 30 years ago. And they'll probably still be asking them 20 years from now. What I'd really like this video to become, though, is much less about my observations and more about yours. Because I only get to see a very tiny part of the industry. So tell me, where are you based? What kind of work do you do? Are you busier than last year? Are budgets growing or shrinking? Has AI meaningfully changed your work? Where are your clients coming from? What opportunities are you seeing? Because I suspect the most valuable part of this video isn't going to be anything I've said. It rarely is. It'll be the discussion underneath it. And I'd love this comment section to become a snapshot of what videography actually looks like in 2026. Not what the thumbnails say, not what the algorithms say, not what the professed gurus say, what working professionals are actually experiencing. I'm Jack. Whatever this is, I'm calling Western Approaches. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.